Hello and welcome. My name is Blaze and I help young men break bad habits, build confidence, and develop self-esteem. Today, I want to discuss the call to action. It's a very common term in the marketing world, the call to action. But I want to talk about it in a different context. I believe that at some point in all of our lives, we get called to action. We get called to do something, to make a massive change. Whether it's something that someone says to us, something we hear, or something that happens to us in our lives that allows us to get called to do something. I wanted to discuss the call to action in my life and how it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, actually getting called and then acting on that call. So, when I had my medical emergency back in September, if you don't know, my appendix ruptured in September, kind of inspired me to go down this path. And through that whole experience, I felt some kind of spiritual awakening in myself. It's hard to describe, but there was a voice in my head that was calling me to take action and to share my story with people. And for weeks after the whole emergency went down, after I left the hospital, I was battling with myself. Obviously, that's a pretty vulnerable thing to do, to talk about that and share it online where everyone can see it. But I felt called to do it. And after weeks and weeks of, telling myself I was going to do it and not doing it and recording videos and just deleting them right after, I finally said, you know what? You need to do this thing. And I felt called to do this thing, put out the video to make an impact in people's lives. So, what did I do to actually execute and put out the video? I walked out on a balcony at my apartment complex, and it was kind of like a roof deck. And I sat there for a while, contemplating about whether I would put the video out or not. And then I said something to myself, which forced me to go ahead and do it. I said, "You're not allowed to go back inside until you post this. I don't care. You sleep out here if that's what it comes to." I said that to myself. And for the next 10, 15 minutes, I'm kind of pacing back and forth, unsure about whether or not I want to put this thing out. But I told myself, you're not allowed to go back inside. So I said, shit, well, I gotta go ahead and do it now. So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, I didn't even force myself to really do this. A 10 count started going off in my head. I had the post ready to click share. All of a sudden, the 10 count goes down. 10, 9, 8, 7, and got to 1, 0, clicked share post, and I instantly, right after that, shut off my phone. Swear, I shut it down right after that. And I felt some kind of sensation come over me. I don't know what it was. It was like a euphoric moment. And I walked back inside to my apartment. I hop in the shower, go to sleep, don't check my phone for the rest of the night. I wake up in the morning and I see some messages from some people who were touched by my video, and I talked with some people the next day who I hadn't spoken with in a while, and it was nice. And in that video, I don't know what it was with me, but I didn't want to receive comments from people because there's certain people that maybe I didn't leave separate from on a good note, and I didn't want a message from them saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry for what happened to you," because I didn't feel like it would be genuine, even though it probably would have been genuine from them. I didn't want to be messaged by people who I didn't feel cared about me anymore and who would just care for that moment and show their pity toward me for what happened. So that's why I disabled comments on that video, and The people who really did care reached out to me separately because they couldn't comment on the video, obviously. And those people really showed me who they were. Unexpected things received by different people, messages, nice things said to me. So I would encourage you, if you feel called to do something, I know it's difficult. Most times when you feel called and compelled to do something, it's something scary. But there's a voice inside of you that says, you need to go ahead and do this. You might try and fight it and resist it as much as you can, but it won't go away. And in my opinion, it's an act of God. It's God telling you to live out your prophecy, your destiny. And the longer you restrain that and hold back, the more damaging it's going to be to you. And some people who resist that call to action never forgive themselves because they knew that they were capable of so much more, but they didn't want to take that bold step to put themselves out there to take a risk. That's what I decided to do. So, if you feel called, go ahead and do it. That's what I'll say. If you feel called to take a bold leap in your life, do it. You won't regret it. I promise you. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think to myself, wow, how did you go ahead and do that? And it's one of my proudest moments when I look back on my life, putting out a video like that, because I don't know a whole lot of people who are willing to be completely vulnerable on social media, online for everyone to see, and that makes me proud of myself. So, I want to thank you for watching today's video, and I hope that you're called to do something great in your life. If you haven't been called yet, you will get called. It's your ability to act on that when you get called, hence the call to action. So I encourage you, make it happen, do the right thing, take the leap. I will see you in the next video. I want to thank you for tuning in today. Bye.